Coming at you live from their secret location in an underwater bunker 2 miles off the Emerald Coast, it's Chimichanga Talk with your host, Deadpool Speaks.
And we're back. We're back for another round of podcasting. It's me, your host, Deadpool Speaks. And with me, as always, is the mighty, talented, and absolutely mouthful Bad Juju. What's going on, Bad Juju?
What's that supposed to mean? Mouthful?
Yeah, you know
making fun of-
exactly what it means.
You make fun of my weight? You call me blob?
Yeah, well, it wouldn't hurt you not to eat my snacks when I'm at work. So here's what we're going to do. There's no guest on this particular episode, but we did want to kind of catch up with a lot of news because we have been missing some news. We have been kind of off on that department lately, and we do have very. We do have like something special that I want to do on Val Kilmer because he passed away last week.
Yeah.
And, we kind of want to go ahead and do a little recap on that, considering he was one of the Batman that had been out there and absolutely amazing guy. So we kind of want to do a little retrospect on him. But first, let's talk a little bit about the news. A lot of things have happened recently. I don't know if you have any money in the stock market, Juju. Do you?
Well, only in the Chimichanga gold card.
Yeah, exactly. The Chimichanga Gold Card guaranteed to be recession-proof, folks. But there's been this like crazy roller coaster ride where everyone's screaming Armageddon when it comes to the economy.
Oh yeah.
So there's been all these tariffs and things like that, but we're not going to discuss those kind of things because they're not as important as what is going on with China. And China is actually they're so upset with everything that's going on right now that they're going to ban a whole bunch of movies, make it a lot more difficult for American films to be shown in China.
I think I can't remember what movies were on the list, but I think, don't quote me on this, the Minecraft movie was on it. I saw.
I'll quote you on that.
Don't quote me on that. But
yeah,
I have seen that it's been getting a bit more strict, and I don't know, I don't live there, of course, but it is getting kind of crazy with what's going on.
Yeah, we gotta say ni hao to all our Chinese fans out there, and just be like, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry that unfortunately, your government's not gonna allow you to see a lot of these Hollywood movies that are coming out by the dozens. Movies like
3 people just unsubscribed. I hope you know.
Unsubscribed right now.
I'm watching it right here. It's getting bad. You should.
We're down to 52 subscribers.
52. We lost a whopping 2.
Yeah, exactly. One of them was my mom. No, but the thing is that it's crazy to kind of see this retaliation and stuff like that, which it makes sense when you kind of start doing bad things to your neighbor's going to want to naturally do bad things to you. And one of those things is take away the wonderful entertainment that is Hollywood, with Minecraft. Minecraft making a hell of a splash.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead. Let's talk a little bit about Minecraft.
It's definitely caused a lot of good and bad reception. Really good and really bad. I'm pretty sure most theater workers are waiting for it to go on digital. They're
it to
excited.
Go away, yeah.
They're so excited, and I get it. It's been crazy.
Apparently, there's a viral TikTok trend, which I'm not 100% sure what TikTok is because I'm not allowed to subscribe to it because I have I've hit the age limit for TikTok, so they're like, no sir, you need to be this young to ride this ride. And apparently there's like a viral trend going around with the Minecraft movie, and obviously Minecraft, that one thing that all the kids play, and even some of the adults that make the adults kind of look at them and go, "Why?
Yeah.
Why are you playing that? What's going on? What's going on with that chicken?" You know. So,
Yeah.
but Jack Black, obviously the Steve in this whole situation, which I think Steve is kind of like the common man of everything else, right? I mean, you
Yeah.
play
He's your
Minecraft, right?
he's your uh he's your Master Chief to Halo. That's pretty much the best way to describe it.
Master.
He's just a face. You see him everywhere.
I swear I thought you said Master Sheep.
Sheep.
I'm like, he's a Master Sheep. Okay. Well,
I mean, you could call it that too. But
so
I
what about Minecraft?
so first off, I do gotta say that I love Jack Black, and I think it's my personal bias. I have not watched the movie yet, but ever since I heard it was announced, I was really excited because Jack Black's an amazing actor. I love him. I don't know why someone could hate him. I mean, I get like humor's subjective, but he's a really great actor. I'm really excited to watch it coming up soon. But on Minecraft, this is gonna sound crazy, but look it up. I promise this is real. The Minecraft theme, the main theme from the video game, has been inducted and added to the Liberty of Congress National Recording Registry for its cultural, historical, and aesthetic importance. I was totally not on a note right here, but that's crazy because I don't think there's been a game that's had that happen. I don't think even Mario's had that happen. I don't know. I don't recall it ever happening to anything.
Well, don't quote him on that. Send
Don't
all hate
quote him.
mail to badjuju@badjuju.com.
Dude, you know how much I have to
But
clear every week? You really gotta stop that.
I can, yeah, I sign you up for a lot of things. That's how I get all the free stuff sent to my, it's just by signing your email up for these things.
Is that why I'm
So,
getting saying to invest into their stock market? Is that why I've been getting that
yes,
now?
absolutely. I invest in every possible meme coin that there is.
What the hell?
Just because I need to have, I need to have them all. You got to collect them all, you know?
I mean, okay,
So,
I'll understand that. Yeah, that's fine.
yeah, and let me tell you, a lot of people don't know this, but Pokemon is actually recession proof. So, for all you people that are hoarding toilet paper and eggs and all those other things that you're running to buy because you think that they're going to go up in price, like coffee as well, because, obviously, besides Hawaii, we don't make coffee here in the United States. So, it has to be all imported in. Get your Pokemon cards now. Stock up on that because you never know when Jar Jar or Jar Jar Binks or Darth Vader
I've heard
limited
people,
edition.
I've heard people butcher things before. That was the worst butcher I think I've ever heard. Like you actually massacred.
or a Squirtle.
Okay, at
Or
least you got that.
a Doocy Rock or whatever it was called. Yeah, exactly. So, be like what's his name, Ash or something, Ash Ketchum.
Yeah.
Which that sounds really weird.
Ash Ketchum.
Okay,
I'll know. What's his last name? That's a good question. I don't even know his last name.
I think it's Ketchum.
Ash. I'm just gonna call him Ash. That's his name.
Okay. Well, Ash will teach you now. You got to get them all before the recession really hits, and then your gold foil Pokemon card will suddenly triple in value. I mean, you could use that as currency later on when we're living in the apocalyptic times, and you need to trade it for like a slide of beef or maybe like 3 acres of land.
Yeah, you
so,
could buy a house
with
a Japanese limited time Mewtwo card. You could do that soon in the future.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Absolutely.
It's gonna happen soon.
It's happening right now. So
the future's now, man.
Exactly. And in other movie news that's talking about the future is now, we're looking at a resurgence of all these Marvel, because there was a time when we were producing so much Marvel content that people say it was getting old. Some people were saying, okay, well, this is too much this way or too much that way. But now, like, we are genuinely excited for the Thunderbolts, and the Thunderbolts is like set to open like with a whopping number coming here on May 2nd when it premieres. Um, Getting a whole bunch of really, really great reviews. Unlike Superman, which they said they're kind of doing some reshoots for. So
Oh, really?
that has us a little worried. Yeah, that
I have
has
not
us a
heard that.
little worried. Yeah, just like Batman, the Batman 2, also having production stalls. So DC, what's going on?
Yeah,
You know, I mean,
they're stalling now. Everyone was excited for Superman. I did not hear about them having to reshoot. That's kind of concerning. I don't know what that's going to lead into, but that's definitely not a good thing for any
yeah,
movie.
that is that definitely isn't
That
something.
that's
Something didn't test right with people.
that's like going into
Um,
purgatory. And they already said James Gunn. I think it was James Gunn who said this. It was someone who's like an executive. He said if Superman didn't do good, Batman, all those like future DCU projects, gone, wiped out. Nothing is coming out.
yeah, and it's a shame because like I really, really enjoyed the Batman. I enjoyed the spinoff, the Penguin that they did. It
Still have
was
to watch that.
really, really good. It was really good. So I was getting super hyped up for the DC universe, and now Marvel's kind of like swinging it back into their court. I mean, Daredevil has had a beautiful resurgence,
Oh yeah.
and everyone's like loving that. And you know, it's starting to produce some really cool content, and I hear that there might be some horror content coming up soon. What did you hear about that, Bad Juju?
Oh yeah, I did hear. Now it's not Marvel, but we're still in Disney territory when we go into Star Wars. Now
Yeah.
apparently, I can't remember the director's name. Um, he was saying that supposedly a Star Wars horror film is in the works at Lucasfilm,
Oh, it's a
which
Star Wars horror film?
it's Star Wars, and so this has been talked about for I don't know how long. I can't remember. I just remember when I went to Disney 2022. I met a kid who was so excited because he really wanted to see the stormtrooper like zombies. I think they're like zombies. They're like something along the lines of undead stormtroopers. And everyone
Wow.
says it needs to be adapted. And apparently, I guess we're getting it now after I don't know again how long, but people have been wanting it for such a long time. And I guess they're gonna really feed
Well, they've
Star
been
Wars
doing,
fans.
you know, Disney has been doing a really good job with all the, you know, kind of Star Wars content that they've been pushing out.
Mm,
Some hit, some miss. There's like a mixed review between the fans, but you know, we got on April 1st, which I kind of thought it was an April Fool's joke. We got some new stuff coming out for Disney, like a new series for the Star Wars universe, which has casually dropped a trailer like out of the blue, and you're like, "What is
I
this?"
haven't heard this.
You know?
I actually,
Yeah,
I was like, we, no, I haven't heard
it's actually
this.
coming out. It's coming out in May. So for May I'm not sure if it's May the 4th, but
Most likely.
you know, there is a new Star Wars series from the world of Star Wars. So that
Okay.
is going to be really cool. And you know, speaking of someone who like dropped something really cool out of the blue, I'm like a big Wes Anderson fan.
Mm.
um, Kicking off the Cannes Film Festival and kind of doing that tour, we have a new Wes Anderson film,
Oh yeah.
um, which I don't know. Are you a fan of Wes Anderson? Bad
I've
Juju?
I've watched a few of his films. I can't say I've watched all of them. I don't know which ones are like because everyone like with every director they say you need to watch this movie to be a fan of this person. I've watched like maybe four of his movies, maybe even more, but four that I can remember from the top of my head, which was let's see. Of course, Mr. Fantastic Fox. I always heard about that movie. I
The
watched it.
Fantastic Mr. Fox,
Yeah,
yeah.
Fantastic Mr. Fox, and it was a good movie. I loved it. And oh god, what's the name here? I I have it here somewhere on my little notes because I actually want to write it down. Rushmore, that's the name. Rushmore.
Rushmore.
One of my friends
Yeah,
really loved
Rushmore
Rushmore.
Rushmore was really good. He did like Asteroid City not that long ago. That was really
Oh
good.
yeah.
One of my favorites was Moonrise Kingdom,
Mm.
which kind of shows this really bizarre love story between these two kids. But the Phoenician Scheme is a new one, and it's with Benicio del Toro, who I absolutely love.
Okay.
Benicio del Toro, and it's got Mia Threppleton. It's got Tom Hanks, Brian Cranks, and Richard Aliotte from like the IT crowd. I probably butchered his name there. Jeffrey Wright. Who's that guy that everybody hates? Oh, Michael Sierra.
People hate him now.
uh, no, people joke around about hating him. Scarlett Johansson, Benedict Cumberbatch. I mean, Rupert Friend. It's just
That's
so
such a
many
crazy
people.
cast. That's a lot of big
It is
names.
always a crazy cast. It is always a crazy cast with him. And it looks really, really good. It looks entertaining. And if you are a fan of Wes Anderson, because he does shoot in a particular style, if you're a fan of Wes Anderson and you could check out this trailer, The Phoenician Scheme, definitely go ahead and give it a look. I mean, there's some people that like him, there's some people that don't. But I find it, personally entertaining. Um, Now, what else do we have for movie news? Do we have anything else?
We didn't talk about one of the bigger news in more recently on movies, Doomsday, Avengers Doomsday.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I'll lead into that. So we're gonna have all the new Avengers. So we have
Mm-hmm.
oh god, I'm gonna butcher it. Shang-Chi, butchered, but doesn't matter.
Shang-Chi. No, no, yeah, no,
Yeah.
you're fine.
We have I think all the Thunderbolts, besides one,
Mm-hmm.
which spoiler alert, Taskmaster is not on it, so that's concerning. They even got the main villain Sentry in the casting. Uh, I'm pretty sure Cumberbatch was in it, so Doctor Strange, and then we get into Fantastic Four showing up. Okay, to be
Yeah.
expected. X-Men. Okay.
Yes. That
Eh,
was the big thing when they announced that, and then you see all the chairs and everything
oh
lined
yeah,
up,
and Channing
and
Tatum
you
is
see,
finally coming back
yeah,
again as Gambit, which it's like I love Channing Tatum. He is a really good actor, and he did a really good Gambit, Deadpool, and Wolverine. But it's kind of funny because I feel bad for him because he always wanted to play Gambit. He said that was his like dream role. He wanted to ever since it got
mhm,
canceled. He got the movie. People loved him. He blew up.
yeah.
Now they're
Here's
bringing
a
him
meme.
back. Yeah, here's a meme for a long time. I think he still is technically, but I haven't heard
Yeah.
anyone say, his catchy. Now everyone thinks Gambit with, ooh, I'm about to make a name for myself. Everyone says it.
Mhm.
You can go
Yep.
outside and you can hear it. So now he's coming back, and I kind of hope they don't make him say it again. They're gonna make him say it again, but oh, they don't.
Of course.
But we have this
Yeah.
big, gigantic cast of the Avengers, Fantastic Four, and X-Men all together to fight Robert Downey, Doctor Doom. Now, originally, I thought it was gonna be infamous. Sorry, I said infamous. Infamous Iron
He is
Man.
infamous.
Infamous. uh, infamous Iron Man, because that's a Doctor Doom variant. But no, apparently
Mhm.
that's been debunked. They said it's not. It's just gonna be Victor Von Doom. So he's playing Doom,
And
actual Doom.
yeah, and the thing is I think they're gonna find a way to wrap around Khan because um, they kind of dropped his storyline,
Kong.
and they're
I just
gonna.
realized I clicked in my head. It's Kang.
Yeah, I know. I'm doing the whole in principle. How'd you say it again? Since we're saying things wrong.
Oh, okay, whatever.
Now
Okay,
you got that joke. All
took you a
right.
minute.
Yeah, it took me a long minute. I didn't know how far I was going to go with that. But King the Conqueror, King the Conqueror. They're kind of bringing his storyline back into it. Plus, you got to remember that we have in Fantastic Four, you have Galactus, right? You have and remember, Galactus is this major transcendent super villain, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like you have like all these amazing mashups of things that are happening in the Marvel universe, which are all kind of leading up to this big climax. It's going to be, phase. What phase are we in? What is this, like phase
5,
4?
4, one of them.
Uh,
No, because phase 3 was Thanos. 5? Question mark.
Question mark. Yeah, exactly. But it's really cool, and I think we're going to see some amazing things. And I mean, they only have though Robert Downey Jr. for 2 movies. Plus we had word of the new Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, Spider-Man 4
with Tom Holland and stuff like that. So I mean, we're picking up where they left off. With everybody forgetting who Peter Parker was.
Have you heard the news for him?
What? That they're older now?
Well, no, not quite. Now, hear this. Now we're talking about Spider-Man. So first off, it's going to be taking place during Doomsday to kind of write him off. He's not going to be a part of it. He's going to be your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man now, instead of your galactic friendly spider guy in an iron suit.
Yeah.
But so now these are only rumors, but these are casting calls from what reliable leakers have said. Supposedly, they're looking for a 30-year-old woman to play one of the antagonists, which some people are obviously saying Black Cat. Sadie Sink has been casted. The lady from Stranger Things. Don't remember her name. I only remember Sadie Sink because I always joke about her name. Sorry. But that's so
sorry,
mean.
Sadie Sink.
Yeah, sorry, Sadie
Send your
Sink.
email to badjuju@badjuju.com.
If you want me to... we have that, and then apparently Chameleon, I guess, is getting a big boost because not only was he an antagonist in Kraven, but now he's apparently the antagonist in Spider-Man, in this upcoming Spider-Man, and I think there's one last one, but I cannot remember from my top of my head. But no, it's sounding crazy already with Black Cat apparently. Again, don't quote me. I like to look back at old messages I have with my friends talking about movie news and never comes true. Like Wakanda Forever with the Doctor Doom supposed post-credit scene with the concept art. It never happened. Don't quote me. These are just rumors and leaks, but apparently a Black Cat and apparently Chameleon are going to be a part of the movie, which is cool. I'll admit, Black Cat, I don't know how they're going to do a 30-year-old Black Cat with a just getting out of high school Tom Holland, but,
Well, I mean, by this time he's starting college, right? I mean, weren't they like finishing everything?
College. He's just getting out of high school. It's just like,
Just because she's 30 doesn't mean that, anything, because she could easily play. I mean, look at when Stranger Things finally drops. I mean, all those kids that started, when they were like 12 or 13, they're now like in their 40s. It's taken forever for freaking Stranger Things to come out. So it's like there's all sorts of possibilities, but it'd be really interesting to see because I mean, Black Cat is technically what Catwoman is to Batman. It's like that little love interest thing. So what's going to happen between his connection to MJ? So
and the theory with like Sadie Sink being the new MJ, it's so confusing what's going on with that movie now. Because they say Zendaya's coming back and all that. So
yep,
I don't know what's going to be going on. They're all
set to come back.
I don't know what their plan is.
They're all set to come back
with the movie, but I'm curious because supposedly Tom Holland was fighting it a lot. He wanted a good script from what he said. He wasn't going to do anything that was kind of rushed.
I don't want to do anything mediocre. Everything has to be really good.
I think when he said in an interview was like he's a I think he said he was like a general Spider-Man fan. He wanted to make sure it was a Spider-Man movie instead of a, again, intergalactic friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Uh, but apparently he's still not safe from that because from what people say, he's gonna be built into being put in Secret Wars, so he's not safe. He's still gonna be fighting Doctor Doom. So I don't know how the hell he's gonna do it.
Yeah, there's something's gonna give there.
Yeah.
And one thing, and this is kind of leading us into our main story here. Another piece of like kind of fun movie news, and so all like movie history news, anyways. Batman Forever, right? It's turning 30 years old, right?
Yeah.
Here coming up. Now Batman Forever, which had Val Kilmer in it.
Yeah.
Basically there is what they are calling the Schumacher cut of Batman
Oh, I
Forever.
heard
I don't
that.
know if you've ever heard of this.
Yeah.
Um, Kevin Smith in 2023 apparently did a private screening of what he calls the Schumacher cut, where it actually adds almost like an additional hour to everything.
Which is crazy because wasn't that
You
movie
know,
already closer to 2 hours? Wasn't it close?
it was quite a bit there.
Yeah.
And the thing is that there was like a lot of things that were trimmed down. Like one of the most infamous things that was making the rounds was like the big giant bat, because
Mm.
Val Kilmer was seen, and actually it was in the trading cards that you got to see Val Kilmer with a giant bat that you never saw him in the movie, and that was
Mm.
part of this, kind of stuff that was left on the cutting room floor. There
Right.
was like basically a new opening with Tommy Lee Jones as Two Face in Arkham Asylum,
Okay.
and there was like more detailed footage of the mental breakdown of Jim Carrey's Riddler, which kind of made it a little bit more interesting. There was the self discovery of who he was, Batman, like who he was. It was like this whole scene in the Batcave with him and Alfred, kind of trying to find himself, which brings in the whole kind of like man bat thing that he's seen like in these pictures, these infamous pictures with,
Mm.
which some of those clips have been like surfacing around YouTube for ages. But
Right.
a lot of people were like, "Hey, you know, Joel passed away a few years ago, and now with Val Kilmer's death, they were like, wouldn't it be very cool to kind of see him be honored in that way?"
Yeah.
Um, Now, I don't think the market's going to do anything about it. I don't think Warner Brothers is like interested in kind of doing like re-release for that, because unfortunately
Yeah.
um Val Kilmer replaced Michael Keaton. A lot of people, and like Joel took it in a different direction, right? Because everybody
Mm.
thought that Keaton's Batman was a little too dark. So a lot of people didn't like the way that Joel took the series, because it made it more bright, poppy, a little bit more fun, kind of reminiscence of like the '60s Batman, where
Right.
Tim Burton had this, kind of gothic idea of Batman. Even though, it's funny because Bob Kane, right, one of the creators of Batman,
Mm.
commented on Val Kilmer's performance, saying he was like the closest version of the Batman that he felt really captured the essence of Bruce Wayne. So
Mm.
go figure. It's really interesting to see. Now Val Kilmer. Do you know anything about Val Kilmer?
I know a few of his movies. I can't remember the name of the character he played, but he was like in a slight western movie. I can't remember the character's name.
In
But
Tombstone, yes,
Tombstone, yeah.
yes. He was Doc Holliday.
There you go.
Um, Actually, it was that movie that kind of really skyrocketed his career, because before he had done small things. Val Kilmer, he's kind of like a New Year's baby. in a sense where he was born on December 31st. And he was kind of like into doing like a bunch of little theater stuff. Actually, the first film that he did where he had like a main leading role was Top Secret. Top Secret, an absolutely hilarious film. If you guys haven't seen it, you should. It's kind of like what The Naked Gun did for like cop films with Leslie Nielsen.
Mm-hmm.
He did with kind of like a World War. He was like a rock and roll hero, and he was fighting in the war, and it was just kind of like a really, really funny take on war. And the cool thing about what he did for Top Secret, I don't know if you know this, but you know, he was a really good singer. So a lot of the songs that were in Top Secret that he played as this rock and roll star, he actually sung himself.
Hmm.
So yeah, that was actually really cool.
You don't see that a lot
And
now.
no. And he followed that up by doing a film called Real Genius, where he played like this kind of like funny, smart kid who like lands this like big corporate job. It was kind of like one of those quirky films, like a coming of age film, almost like in the same vein as like Ferris Bueller's Day Off and things like that.
Okay.
And then from there, he went to play Iceman in Top Gun, a role that he was very, very famous for. Because not only did he have like really good looks, you know, but I mean, Top Gun is like kind of like one of those films that made a lot of people. It
Oh
made
yeah.
Tom Cruise. So, which he later reprised many, many years later in Top Gun Maverick.
I'm yet to
They
see
brought
that.
him back. Yeah, that was a really good um, kind of bringing back the character. And at that time, he had already had multiple tracheotomies because he was suffering from throat cancer.
Yeah.
He had gone through a lot of chemotherapy, so they kind of wrote that into his role, which was really good because the thing is that I'm sorry, Jim Morrison, Val Kilmer, who played Jim Morrison, he was a very kind of like a method actor in a sense, where
Mm.
he really got deep into the role. Like for example, that's what I was going to say about his next role after Top Gun was he did The Doors. So he played Jim Morrison, and he would actually sing the parts. And one thing about that is that some of the surviving members of the Doors, because Jim Morrison unfortunately passed away from an overdose when he was very young, um, they said it was like Jim Morrison was coming out of his soul. And when they were listening to him sing these songs, it's almost like Jim Morrison was there.
Mm.
That's how much dedication he put into the craft, you know?
Yeah,
Um,
that's always a nice thing to see. I know he was more of an old school, but still, he was not a lot of people really get into the craft and the art of acting. I mean, some do,
mhm.
but they get a bit too far, like sending rats to their co-stars and all that. It gets it gets a bit crazy. But it is always nice to hear uh anything of someone who really gets into the craft, especially now. Of course, Val Kilmer sadly passing. It's I don't know what I'm getting at besides just the fact that I want to see more people get into
Yeah,
the craft of things. I just want
you took it you
I
took
took
this
to
around
another
the corner
direction. Yeah, yeah.
and then you drove us
But
off a cliff.
please keep going.
Um,
I'm making it worse.
well, you know, to talk about someone who's mastering their craft, in the movie Tombstone, there is a scene where Doc Holliday plays the piano, and Val Kilmer does not play the piano, but he learned to play this scene so he could play it on film, and he mastered it. Like he spent weeks learning how to play this song. And that was one thing he was like. Basically, most people remember him for that character, for playing Doc Holliday in Tombstone, which was extremely memorable. And that's actually one of the bigger reasons that he was cast as Batman slash Bruce Wayne in Batman Forever, is because he was kind of gaining that notoriety. Um, and it was like, okay, well, here's this guy, because there were a lot of different people. Ethan Hawke was considered. One of the Baldwin brothers was considered to replace Michael Keaton for Batman. But after that performance, everybody's like, oh, I want him. And he also like gained really, really, like, because it was like a quiet film that gained a lot of popularity later on. It was Willow. He was like a funny kind of. I guess he was kind of like a protector for Willow. Like, have you seen Willow?
I
Mad
think
Mardigan.
so,
Nah, he played.
but like very, very
He,
faint in my mind.
it's one of these 80s movies that fell along the line of like The Never Ending Story and things like that for like kids like me that were growing up around that time. So he was always like Mad Mardigan. But he would never like shy away from anything, because like one thing that I thought was really, really cool, and he gets credit for this, is like one of my favorite movies was True Romance. Now, True Romance had a hell of a cast. True Romance had, let's see, it was Christian Slater. It was who else was it? It was this girl from Severance, the bad lady from Severance. She was in it.
I haven't seen Severance either.
You're not helping me here. It's not Christy Swanson. It's it'll come to me. But Christopher Walken was in it. It was Brad Pitt. Like, this is like one of Brad Pitt's first movies. Bronson Pinchot from like Perfect Strangers. It had like a slew of actors, and it was actually written by Quentin Tarantino. A great film. It has oh man, who played Commissioner Gordon? This guy, he was from the Christian Bale Batman universe. He's Gary Oldman. Gary Oldman also in it. Well, Val Kilmer did a small role, because that lady that I was talking about from Severance, that for the life of me, I can't even remember right now. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up, because that's gonna bug the hell out of me. Let's see. So, Patricia Arquette. She was in True Romance, and she was like the main love interest for Christian Slater. And she has this obsession with Elvis. And there's a point in the film where she sees Elvis, and Elvis is played by Val Kilmer. And a lot of people don't know that, because like you see like the sideburns, and you see this thing, but you don't ever see him like full on.
Yeah.
So he's like kind of like hidden in the corner, kind of like really far away. But it's him. It's Val Kilmer playing Elvis in True Romance. So that was great. And he was also in the.
That sounds unbelievable, but honestly, I could believe you at this point.
Well, I know, seriously, it's like, if you're out there and you've never heard of True Romance, you've never seen this movie, you have to. It's not a very long movie. I think it's about maybe 90 minutes long, if that. If you look at who's who in Hollywood, like this main guy from The Sopranos, right? The big guy, James Gandolfini. He's in it. Like anybody who was like anybody before they became famous
Mm-hmm.
is Anthony Hopkins. Is that it? The guy who played the bad guy in Speed. Anthony Hooper.
I think it's Anthony.
No. Hold on a second. Let's see. Okay, I gotta look up Speed now. Uh, Dennis Hopper. Jeez. Okay, Dennis Hopper.
Not even an Anthony. It's
Dennis
just
Hopper.
that.
Dennis Hopper, another amazing actor. He has this amazing role with Christopher Walken because they're going back and forth right before. He plays Christian Slater's father in the film. Really, really good. Like I told you, it is just a fantastic film. If you like Quentin Tarantino, you'll love True Romance. It's just like Quentin Tarantino wrote, Natural Born Killers. Right. A lot of people don't know that, and Natural Born Killers is another absolutely amazing film. And, a lot of people don't realize that before he kind of went off on his own and started directing his own films, Quentin Tarantino was a really good writer. So True Romance, check it out with Val Kilmer as Elvis. And then, not long after the whole kind of like Batman Forever thing and everything else, you also had Heat. Now, Heat is also an amazing Val Kilmer movie, and he was there with like some amazing actors. You're talking about Al Pacino, Robert De Niro. It was just like the gangster film. And it was like the two biggest actors, Al Pacino and Robert De Niro, kind of going after each other. One is a cop, the other one's like a mafia guy,
$50 and
that
who's the
one was
mafia guy?
okay. Let's go. Who do you think? Was it Robert De Niro or Al Pacino?
Robert De Niro.
Yes, Robert De Niro.
Robert De Niro is always the bad guy. He's either the bad guy or anyone related to the mafia or Italian. It's either or.
Yeah, well, I mean, sometimes Al Pacino was Scarface, man.
Yeah, but
so it's like
it's Robert De Niro. It's
Robert
De Niro. When you tell me who do you think is the mobster, the guy who actually looks like one or Scarface? Scarface is good. Robert De Niro.
Yeah, and so like he did a bunch of really good movies. He did some voice acting. He did the Prince of Egypt. But that was the thing, is like there wasn't anything that Val Kilmer really couldn't do. And I think that's one thing about him, is that everybody was like, okay, well, this guy is really funny. He's really dedicated to his craft. But overall, just such an amazing actor. Had so many memorable roles.
Right.
And he was, like I said, he was a great Batman, in my opinion. A lot of people didn't think much of him, but I honestly thought he was a really, really cool Batman.
I can never understand why people don't like him. I don't get it.
And I one of my proudest things that I could say that I've met Val Kilmer. And I had him sign my Batman Forever cowl, because I have a couple cowls. I'm that much of a Batman fan. Yes, I'm that much of a nerd. And most people will because when you meet him, if you ask him to sign something, he'll ask you what you want him to sign. And it was actually one of my favorite lines from Batman Forever, where this lady's like using the bat signal. She goes, the bat signal's not a beeper. And I don't know how well that carries over to a younger generation, because back in that day, people would carry around beepers, right? Like it's kind of like if you were needing to get in contact with someone, you'd send them your number on this like little pager, right? You'll still
Yeah.
see like, people like doctors and stuff like that carry pagers around, but that technology is like, far gone now because
Yeah.
your cell phone does pretty much everything. But when I met him, I said, "Oh, well, this is such a great line because it aged so well," and he laughed. So on the top of the cowl for the Batman thing, it says, "The bat signal is not a beeper." Val Kilmer. Um, Absolutely love it.
I wish I got
So
to. I was in the same room. I was in the same
yeah, you were
room,
in
but
the
I
same
couldn't.
room.
I couldn't see him. But honestly, I did get to see him a little bit because it was funny. He came out. I forgot what he was making fun of. He was making fun of something. I think he was making
He
fun
was
of Princess Bride. What's the
Yeah,
lead's?
Carrie Yules. He
Yeah,
was he was right next to Carrie Yules, and so he was like, "No, don't go to Carrie Yules' line. Come to my line."
yeah. It's just I think
Remember?
he couldn't speak at that point, so he was just kind of pointing. He was just
Yeah,
like,
he he
you
had a
know,
really rough he had a really rough voice, and he was wearing a scarf because he had a lot of surgeries. So he had some kind of like he didn't want pictures taken of him
yeah.
at that point. And he was having fun with the crowd because he was like that.
Mm.
Um, Actually, he had a documentary called Val, which was about his life, and in that document, because he was someone who always documented everything about his life. He had a video camera when video cameras first came out, and he was constantly taping things. And it's really cool to be able to see these things later,
Mm.
um, because you know it's just a retrospect in his life. We're able to kind of like peek behind the veil, so it was really cool.
Yeah. And
Now, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna leave on the last note. As much as I wish I got to meet Val Kilmer, I'm just still happy that we have technology now to have all these documentaries made of people who deserve them. I think Stanley had one. Yeah, of course he did. There's a few. You'd be surprised how many people have documentaries now. It's always so
Yeah,
fascinating to like look into them, especially when they sadly pass away, because there is their capsule of life and everything you need to know about them and who they were as a person. It's beautiful, and
yeah,
you know, he was a really talented actor. I'm happy he gave a lot of memories, not only technically to not only my generation but your generation as well. He's
hmm
left a big
he
impact.
he did go ahead and transcend through that, and it's funny because like a lot of people were he was notorious in Hollywood for being difficult to work with and having feuds with certain people, like his Island of Dr. Moreau co-star Marlon Brando. Because Marlon Brando would like get into it with anybody. He kind of was like phoning that performance in. He didn't really care about it. I guess he was just doing it for the money
Mm,
because that movie was just like something awful. And I know he didn't like Tom Sizemore. I think they didn't get along, and they had worked on both Heat
mm,
and Red Planet together, and they did not mesh well.
mm.
Um,
It
so
happens.
yeah, it happens. It's like anything else in life, right? That you run into. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's like unfortunately, he passed away from pneumonia
yeah.
at 65. Um, he had survived throat cancer. Went through a lot of chemo, went through multiple operations, um, and still came back. He still came back to do a couple more. Well, like really, like one more film that he was most notably remembered for. Um, which was the from the Top Gun series. Um, but and the thing is that I don't know if you know this, um, but basically they were trying to collaborate with a software company to digitally recreate his voice with AI for Top Gun, right? But he refused to use it, you know? So,
understandably so.
the only thing is that his voice was cleaned up. So, like, it was digitally cleaned up so you could understand him.
Right.
Because, like, he did have difficulty speaking because, obviously if you have throat surgery, that's going to leave you with a little bit of a scar.
Yeah.
And obviously you're not going to be able to talk as well as you used to. So, because there was like a lot of rumors that they had used AI to kind of work on his voice, but that wasn't true. So guys, just kind of like leaving that as an afterthought. Val Kilmer, amazing actor, unfortunately passed away on April 1st from pneumonia. Remembered, at least for me, more for his work with Batman and obviously with Tombstone as well. But if you ever get a chance, and like I said, it's a very blink and you miss it kind of opportunity, check out True Romance. Him as Elvis in True Romance, absolutely a wonderful film. Really worth a watch because, like I said, it's a quick film. You're going to enjoy it. There's not a lot that you have to kind of like, oh, this is really complicated. No, it is basically, hey, this guy falls in love with like a hooker, and he's trying to save her out of this life, and violence ensues, and a world of hurt comes in. So definitely, if you get a chance, enjoy it. That's a really good film. Like I said, a very very young Brad Pitt is in there. So go enjoy True Romance. And if you've never seen it, go see The Doors too. That movie, that bioepic that he was just absolutely amazing in. But anything that you have left to say, Juju?
Not much. Not really much. Just watch the Val Kilmer documentary. Watch Val.
There you go. And Val.
I'm not on it today. I'm getting every name wrong.
Where's your coffee, bro? Where's your coffee?
Yeah.
That's why. But either way, guys, we will be back again next week with another episode, another wonderful guest. I am your host, Deadpool Speaks, and with me as always was Juju. Wave. Harder. No, all right, guys. And we'll catch you on the flip side of things. Thank you so much for listening in. And like always, you can find us where all good podcasts go to die. But when we're living, you'll find us on iTunes, and we're on Amazon. We're on all those wonderful things. Remember, on YouTube, remember to like and subscribe. Yeah, leave us a little comment. Let us know what you thought of the show. I know that we didn't have a guest on this week, but it was a lot of fun to talk about Val Kilmer and see the wonderfully erect world of DC, the Marvel universe, and
soon to crumble.
we soon to crumble, just like the Minecraft movie is doing to theaters, crumbling.
Everything dies.
Yeah, exactly. So, guys, once again, give us a like, subscribe, comment below, and we'll see you guys next week for Chimichanga Talk. We're out.
Thank you for listening this week, and remember, just like always, we will be back next week with another great guest and more adventures from the land of Chimichanga Talk. So tune in next time, same Deadpool time, same Deadpool channel.